sends me to the peak. Without no regret, you got no love. Without no love, you got no regret.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I wanted to talk about why you should buy an S4. So let's get started. So the first big reason why you should buy an S4 is the Drive Select feature. So essentially the Drive Select feature is a way of telling the car how to behave. And in terms of the S4, you can choose between the steering feel, so how tight the steering is, the exhaust note, although it's artificial, it still helps. So essentially you can choose how loud you want the exhaust to sound inside the cabin. Another one is how the transmission, how aggressive it shifts. So you can either choose between sport and drive, and essentially in sport what happens is the car holds a higher RPM, so there's better throttle response. And then you can also choose, if you have the option, and in this case my car does have it, the sport differential features, so how well the car corners. And I think that this is a feature that makes the car, gives it two personalities, and I think is a great feature that I use all the time. Without it, I'd be really sad. But yeah. Another reason, second reason why you should buy this car is the interior build quality. So for a car of this price, the materials in the inside and how the interior feels is very, very nice. It's all like leather, suede. There is some plastic, but for the price you're paying, you can't expect to get everything aluminum or something like that. But yeah, and I don't know, a lot of German cars have this where interior just feels really solid and well built, and the S4, they definitely didn't slack on that. The third reason why you should buy this car is the sound. So the car, when you have it, put it in dynamic and stuff, it sounds very nice on the inside, and that goes back to what I was talking about with Drive Select. So when you put it in dynamic, it does sound like a sports car, and then in comfort it sounds quieter. But when you upshift on this car, it does these awesome pops that are, they're so good. They're almost like, they just, when you upshift, I'll show like a clip of me doing it, but when you upshift, the car makes like a pop to it, that almost like a DSG fart, that sounds really, really good. And it's definitely something that adds character to the car. Fourth reason why you should buy this car is its high-speed stability. So the car, when you're going super high speeds, the car feels super planted and stable. You have no issues whatsoever feeling like you're gonna lose control. For example, like Japanese cars and whatnot, they tend to, when you're going at high speeds, they kind of feel a little bit sort of flimsy. I don't know if that's the best way to say it, but they kind of feel almost as if they're gonna, you just don't feel as confident. But in this car, like I've gone 100 miles an hour legally, and at 100 miles an hour, just going, it felt like no issue. Like I was fine riding with one hand. I was fine doing with just my index finger holding the steering wheel. The car just feels super stable, and I know German cars are very good at this, especially since they build them to be on the Autobahn. So this car definitely is a car that you have a lot of confidence with when you're driving at high speeds. The fifth reason, and this applies mainly to the DSG models, I haven't driven a manual, so I don't know exactly, but for a car at this price range, the DSG that comes in this car is amazing. Like for how much you're paying, 60,000 for this car, brand new, almost. You get a transmission that shifts almost as fast as cars that come at almost at supercar levels. Obviously, it's not going to shift like a Porsche PDK or something like that. But this car, when you flick the paddle, instant shifts. When you're driving and you have it set to sport, the car is instant at downshifting, instant at upshifting. So yeah, I'm assuming, I've heard good things about the manual transmission, so I can say from word of mouth that I've heard it's very good. But yeah, transmission's definitely up there. The sixth and final reason that I can think of right now that why you should buy an S4 is how practical it is. I know it's a four-door sedan, so obviously it's going to be somewhat practical, but there are other four-door sedans that seem more practical than they really are. But in this one, the car is very practical. I have no problems loading. I've loaded huge things in the trunk. You can fold down the seats and it fits everything perfectly well. Trunk size is very, very large. The back seat, as long as you're not like taller than 6 feet, you can seat comfortably for 4 people easily. So yeah, in terms of practicality, this car doesn't have any doesn't lack at all. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys found this informative. Don't forget to browse the channel and like this video and subscribe, and look forward to seeing you next video. Thanks.